Ladies and gentlemen, good day everybody. My name is Coffee Break and I am back with another CoffeeCast Procast. Today I am going to be making up a Procast because I will not be able to broadcast tomorrow, and actually not for about another week. I will be doing Amateur Attack tonight. However, Wednesday the 14th to Wednesday the 21st, I will not be able to broadcast. That does not matter right now, though, because I am about to bring you a game between none other than mouzHasu and eSaharaNaama. I don't know if Naama switched from Virus to this new clan, Sahara. Nonetheless, I do have some stats from these two players. If you have not heard of them before, then you probably do not live in Europe, because they are not very... I wouldn't say that they're huge names in America. They don't do a lot of MLG and stuff, I believe. However, very, very good on the European server. Naama is sitting at 144 wins and 80 losses. He has about a 64% win rate, and is number 90 in his Grand Masters League there on the European server. And over here we have Hasu playing as the yellow Protoss. He has 235 wins and 116 losses at about a 67 win rate. Now, if you're wondering, and he is also 179 in Grand Masters, 169, pardon me. So if you're wondering why these players' plays are a little bit low, well, you have to remember that they probably do play on multiple servers. I know Hasu did have a Korean account. He was only platinum in that. But also, we're kind of gearing down out of tournament season now, so players have not had a lot of time to play ladder games. They've probably been playing a lot of custom games, and just haven't really gotten the chance to get a lot of ladder practice in. So that is why there are not a crap load of ladder games for either of these players. But that doesn't matter, because if you've seen these players play before, you know that they are good. They are very good, and I am really excited for this. I love PvT. I love anything with P in it. I should probably reiterate that. I love anything with Protoss in it. I love everything with Protoss. We do see a lot of Chrono Boost going down on the probes, and in PvT you know that it's rather safe to do that. In PvP it's much more volatile. You have to be very, very careful what you do with those Chrono Boosts. But in PvP, PvT and PvZ, you can really be a little bit more... I don't know. You can go for a lot more Chrono Boost on that Nexus to get those probes out, because really you want to be able to counter these mules. And in PvZ, you want to be able to counter the droning. Now, we do see finally our first kind of tech. We do have a factory going down right next to this barracks with a reactor. And I find that a little bit interesting with a bunker on top of the ramp. I'm thinking we might be seeing reactored Hellions against Protoss. I don't know. We do have... that has me a little bit baffled. We do have a Stargate coming down now for Hasu. A Stargate play has always been around against Terran. It's never been super, super popular, but it's always been around and viable. Now, it looks like we might be seeing this thing. There's only single Hellion coming out. We might be seeing Banshee play coming out of Naama here. A very common build is getting that reactor down on the barracks so that you can get a bunch of Marines out for defense. The single Hellion, if you only get 1 to 3 Hellions, it is probably the most indicative thing of Banshee play. So if we see a tech lab go down on this reactor after this, actually we'll probably just see it go straight down on the starport. If there is a tech lab on that starport, yeah, Hasu's going to be a little bit worried. Then we'll probably see him drop a robotics for that. No, once again, Naama has me a little bit baffled here, because a lot of the time, if you see just this 1 or 2 Hellions get out, it's really indicative of Banshee play. But in this case, it looks like Naama instead is going for a very, very fast medevac, a 1-1-1 medevac, and maybe we'll be seeing Hellion drops into the main base. That would be my best guess as of now. But if that were the case, I would have expected these two buildings to be switched around so that the factory got the reactor. For the moment, though, we do look like we're getting ready for a little bit of a drop as the units are beginning to get picked up in here. And they're going to be flying over here. Now, no expansion has been laid down yet. However, there is this Stargate here, and it looks like the medevac is going to be seen by the Phoenix, and it might It does take a little bit of damage, but nothing too serious. Very, very heads-up play by mouzHasu, being able to find that. Now picking up the Hellion, those Hellions, of course, classifying as light. It looks like he will get this before flying out of there. And Hasu going to be able to pick off that drop before it even happens. Very heads-up play by him. I know Liquid Hero is very, very well known for his airplay versus Terran. It looks like these Phoenixes are just going to be pesky. Picking up that SCV, building the command center there. Now the Hellion has scouted the expansion going down for mouzHasu, so Naama is going to know exactly what's going on. These Phoenixes are just going to be able to fly around and be super, super annoying, picking off another SCV, building that command center, and that just delays it for that little bit longer. We do have 4 Phoenixes here now, and I've been told that when you get to the 5th Phoenix, you get a Firebird of Phoenix, is what it was called in Greek mythology. So I'm hoping that we get that 5th Phoenix, because calling it a Firebird is just awesome sounding. And there goes that SCV again. I believe that is the 3rd SCV to be picked off that watchtower now, and that has just got to be super, super annoying. And he's done a sufficient job of delaying Naama's expansion, as his expansion is already finished. Naama's just under halfway done. Just under halfway done as of now. There is the Maynard of the probes over to the expansion. Maynarding, of course, referring to Maynard, who was the first player in Starcraft Brood War to pull drones from his main base to his natural. Fun, interesting little fact there. Looks like we are going to be seeing a little bit more gateway now. Now, where is it? There it is. The Twilight Council has been dropped in the back of Hasu's base. So, Stargate play into... Where did those go? There they are. Stargate play into barracks, gateway play. Very, very popular, as you pretty much just force the Terran player to stay inside his base for as long as possible, and you can just macro up a huge, huge ground army. Now, the key to this build is to make sure that you do not let the Terran get too comfortable, otherwise his ground army will just plain flat out outnumber yours, and you will be in a bad position. There goes the tech lab, 2 tech labs onto these barracks. And we do have the engineering bay getting a +1 out. We do have +1 armor coming from our Protoss player, and I would like to say +1 armor, very, very popular versus Terran in PvT, because these Marines are low damage, high speed units. So if you can take out their DPS just a little bit, take down that damage just a little bit, it's very, very, very powerful. Let me reemphasize that. Very. There's a 4th very. We do have a Firebird Phoenix on the field. I just now realized that I had selected 5 Phoenix. That is awesome. We do have heavy, heavy Marine upgrades coming out right now. We do have Stim Pack and Combat Shield, as well as Weapons level 1. And I say Marine upgrade because pretty much all he's made right now is Marines. He doesn't even have a Marauder on the field yet, and I don't think he's going to get one anytime soon. So it looks like we'll be seeing a little bit of Marine tank play, maybe a little bit of air play coming out of Naama. In the meantime, these Phoenixes just flying around. Templar Archive about to finish up, as well as Charge. And it looks like this Viking is going to be able to be the end of this Phoenix Ras, as those Vikings are not light, and the Phoenixes do extra damage versus light. A lot of probes down here. Gas is not quite saturated yet. There is only 1 gas with under saturation. So that is not too big of a deal. Oh, I'm missing a few gateways. Where are the extra gateways that I'm missing? There they are, down here. We do have 6 gateways on the field, as well as Templar Tech and Ground Wet Armor level 2 coming out. I would not be surprised to see a 2nd forge dropped relatively soon, so that Hasu could start taking a lead in that upgrade. I would like to point out the supply is now 95 to 70, which is really a factor of Hasu being able to pick off the SCV, making that command center. Hasu just has had the earlier economical advantage in this matchup, and as you see, there are 9 workers killed as opposed to the 2 for Naama. So it's not a ton. It's not like, Zerg versus Zerg where, 40 for 40 drones kill or something. But it really does make a difference, especially when your harvesters are 45 to 38. Hasu just has a little bit of the lead, and really, actually, that shouldn't be too much of a lead, as there should be mules being dropped down. Maybe been used for scans or something instead. We do have the Ghost Academy down now, and this Phoenix somehow still alive, just being so resilient. We do have the Ghost Academy down for our Terran player Naama, and a robotics on the way. Hasu has no doubt by this point in the game scouted how many Marines there are on the field, and that also prompted his Psionic Storm to start being upgraded. Level 2 armor almost finished, level 1 armor just starting for our Terran player. A little bit of engagement once again, and once again, Hasu with beautiful micro on these Phoenixes has not let a single one die in this matchup, and now you see a massive massive ground force for HaSu out on the field. These are charge lots with Storm support. There are 3 Templar in there for Storm, a 4th one being morphed in, and by the time they get to the other base, there will be enough energy for Storm on all of those. Now, we do have a couple Marauders out, as well as Ghost on the field now, just now getting on the field. So if HaSu has a little bit of window now, he's going to need to attack fairly shortly, otherwise this EMP will finish. And it looks like he might be setting up for a bit of an engagement here, but every moment that he waits, I don't think that he'll be able to get to the enemy's base in time. Naama is going to have enough energy to EMP this army, but he will not have very many EMPs ready, so he will need to make each and every EMP count in this coming engagement. We do have the 3rd base coming down for HaSu now, which will give him a very nice economical lead if Naama does not take his 3rd, and I do not believe that there is a 3rd command center on the field yet. And HaSu really losing this timing window. The OBS reactor has finished now, so the Ghost will start with enough energy to EMP right out of the barracks. And it's going to be kind of a close battle, really, because there is definitely a huge supply advantage in HaSu's favor. But once again, that EMP just is so critical in any battle. My goodness, we do have weapons level 1 finally on the way. The Zealot is going to scout what this army looks like. I do not know if he saw the Ghost in this army, and it looks like there's an unsiege from Naama. This could prove very fatal for Naama if HaSu moves in right now. I don't know if Naama is thinking about moving out or just wants to reposition his tanks, but might want to decide fairly shortly. Once again, HaSu just kind of sitting over here, losing his window with every moment. Naama is catching up in that supply count now, and instead has decided to fall back. Here's the push out from Naama, and it looks like we will be seeing an engagement here, and Naama, realizing that he just doesn't quite have the army, decides to fall back. There's the stem, and a Storm going down in kind of a bad position as that was dodged, and the engagement just not going very well for HaSu, immediately evening up the army values, and HaSu with a very bad engagement. Naama being able to take the lead in that fight. Now, you just see all of these units still alive, but they all have been stemmed. There are only 2 medevacs over this army right now, only 2 medevacs on the field. They may not be able to heal up this army as quickly as Naama might want, and it looks like HaSu is going to be pushing up for another attack. No, falling back instead. One Storm does go down to delay the army, but it does not really land any true damage. An EMP does go down, hit that Archon, and that is not something that you want, and apparently the Archon was decloaked. However, Naama looking to be in a good position right now, looking to push up now. He does have a couple of siege tanks seized up. He's going to want to push this forward. And finally, a beautiful Storm goes down for HaSu. That is the Storm that he needed in this engagement. Clears up a lot of units. There was a little bit of an elevator to the high ground, but did not do too much. And now there could be a couple of force fields going down to stop this army from falling back. However, it looks like HaSu is going to be able to clean up this army. The charge line pushing in and doing a lot of damage. And Naama GG's out of the game. What a beautiful game by both of these players. Naama able to take the lead in a small engagement, or at least even it up here, and pushing down this lower ramp on MLG Metalopolis, lower causeway, I should say. He got hit by a couple of critical storms, beautiful storms by HaSu, able to clean up about 1/3 of the army, and HaSu able to morph in just enough reinforcements to push that back. HaSu on this 3rd base now was in a very good position. Naama was going for that 2-base timing attack and knew that he just could not come back after that engagement. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and I thank you for joining me here on the Coffee Cast. And please stick around, as there will be Game 2 coming up in just a few moments.